Hello there, this is OneUpIndie and I wanted to show you a quite interesting game which is Fury Unleashed. Maybe you have heard of it, maybe not. I didn't, because it has been in an early access for I guess 2017, so almost 3 years, and it has been in development for 5, so quite some time. But I must say I really dig what they did here. So let's start with a splash screen. So the first one, actually interesting way how you can do the first menu. So here pretty easy done, but if you see the way they did it, like with those 2D effects, looks pretty cool. So this is a nice way how to do it, and well, I wanted the game and I got it. So this game is made in a comic style, which is not my favorite one, but here it definitely fits the atmosphere, so it definitely does look good, so don't get me wrong. But I'm still a big fan of the traditional pixel art, but still this game looks really nice. So the effects, the overall backgrounds and all that stuff. For example, the background here, as you can see, the leaves are moving, so lots of details. It's definitely lovely made, so the colors, everything is pretty spot on. So don't get me wrong, the game is beautiful. So if you are a fan of this kind of style, you will definitely love it. So if you definitely love comics, well, then you will definitely like this game as well. And the development team is called Awesome Game Studio in Krakow, Poland. It's a team of 5 guys. So witam do Polski. Fajną grę tu zrobiliście, and I must say I definitely enjoyed a lot of aspects of this game. And if you are a developer yourself, you want to learn something here, lots of aspects has been done correctly. So here kudos to you. So you can see that this game is quite polished, it does lots of things right. So let's jump right into what is good. So first of all, the graphics, as you can see, pretty nicely done. Then you have this guy which you control. He has like a regular gun, or you can melee, which is in my opinion a double-edged sword, because the game is based on combos, and those combos are making you a little bit more invincible. They making you crit more and so on. So how do the combos work? So basically you just kill one dude, and if you do that in a quick succession, so for example, if you're seeing to the left, top left, there's a combo, and after you hit 3, then you're getting more ink, which is just basically the currency of this game. So you unlock stuff with ink. In the tree I will go in, for example, if you get hurt, then it resets, and while you are in this combo phase, then you get from time to time, you get the chance to find health upgrades, which just giving you a little bit of health back. So these are like health orbs. Hopefully I can find one. And then there is a second currency, which is gold. With that you can buy some stuff here. So nothing too special in my opinion, but good cookie standard stuff. So basically you go and what can you do? You can just buy some other weapons or some little upgrades, some shrines. So nothing too special, but still pretty good. And for example, on your way back you find, let's say, different kind of weapons. Mostly it's weapons, because that's I guess the focus on this game, which was called, by the way, not Fury Unleashed, but how was it called? Badass Heroes. Actually a cool name as well. Not sure why they changed it. So here, why not? And yeah, so this is what you can do. And I must say the movement is quite snappy. So this is very good. So you feel most of the time in control. Of course the game gets pretty hectic very fast. Of course these are the first level or the first act of the comic book, therefore it is pretty easy. So as you can see, this is where you can use your currency, which you see on the top left, top right, which is those gold nuggets, and then ink, which is the currency for upgrading this character. So every time you die, you can actually upgrade this guy if you have enough ink. Basically unlocked most of the stuff, which is good. So this is how the way the game progresses. And for example here, really neat thing how they structured the map. So here they show you where you can actually go, and this is a very creative way in my opinion how you can actually structure a map system. So here you can go in here, and for example one thing which is let's call it, for example, if you are a player which plays quite slow and methodically, then maybe you will not have as much fun as most people, because the game kind of forces you to go and play fast, because this is the only way, or almost the only way, how you can get some health back. So this is, let's call it, a double-edged sword. For example, if you go into melee, some guys will still attack you or like spam you, or for example you can, what is this, right of case. So these are like, let's say, mini games, which is kind of, this is, by the way, this looks pretty neat. I really dig the way they did this kind of black and white aesthetic, and there are some interesting shaders at work here which give it this comic book feel. And as you can see in the background, if you just watch closely, damn it, and I messed it up, then you could actually see some interesting way how they did this with the game. For example, here the shader is not active there. It was shaking a little bit, so it looks like somebody was scribbling or whatever. And here, this is, for example, how you do it. You have, like, say, 3 chapters per comic book, and then after that you find a big boss, and there are 3 of them. And for example, once you beat the 3 bosses of each comic book, then you can instantly start every new run from another comic book, because in the end this, for example, this was the health upgrade. So here those red orbs are well, just healing you, and this is, well, the little downside, never mind. So this is how it works. So basically you just go and kill the boss. Where are we? You can, if you like, rush through these areas, because the first ones are pretty easy. And what you saw, for example, on the right side, as you can see, I have a specific tool which is showing me invisible enemies, and I am not a fan of this, because if you don't have this thing, this specific thing unlocked, then they will pretty much kick your ass, which I don't like. I don't, for example, like these kinds of things, because they can feel very, very cheap. So this is one of the, let's call it, negative things. Of course, I don't really mind, because, well, then I say it's more challenging. But if you don't like cheap deaths, it could happen to you as well, because, well, a lot of times you will get spammed with lots of bullets and lots of projectiles. Here it still looks pretty nice, but for example, if you want to melee, a lot of enemies will just go like, I don't really care, and they will attack you back, and then your combo is broken. So for example, here, what is this? 25 health, 1 out armor, 1 out. So here you have some mini upgrades, like an armor or shoes or whatever. I guess you can carry just a few, so I guess it's legs, an armor, I guess an accessory, and I guess that was pretty much it. So let's go and get out of here, so we can actually see some more of the game. So basically you can actually play this locally with a friend, so this is a pretty cool thing. So these are the chapters. So this is the first one, then you can go into the second one, and I must say I really dig the art style, and then this is the third one, and then you can instantly start from them. Can I start here? Nah. So this is the way it is being done. And for example, you can of course upgrade your dude, and here we come to a system which is very functional, but in my opinion it is not making the game easier in that regard. For example, if you are going into later chapters, the enemies are stronger. But the only way how you can actually counter that, and this is one of the negative points, of course, this is a design choice. They wanted it to do this, so this is the way it is. For example, if you're having some weapons, and most of the weapons are not too, let's call it, not too effective in this game. So for the first chapter they are good, no doubt about that. But second and third, they are starting to get really lackluster in a lot of regards, because they don't deal too much damage. And the only way how you can actually survive the game and counter this is by getting beefier, so you're getting more health, you're getting more health drops, and getting more health from the bosses. And here the whole tree is just based on your combo system. So here, for example, you get some extra shields, so you can get hit once or twice during your combo phase. So you get kind of a rush thing, which is great for players which play quite fast and go hectic through games, because the game will get very hectic in the end. So fast players are being rewarded, methodical ones not so much. And of course here you get some gadget. And here the only thing which is actually giving you some, let's call it damage boost, is that you're getting critical, and then your critical hit will boost 200%, and this is just it. This is the only way how you can actually deal more damage. Everything else is just making you beefier. This is what I would call the boring upgrades. They are very functional, they are pretty good, standard. So if you like this combo system and you dig how this actually works, you will definitely enjoy it. But well, once again, methodical players will have some hard time with this game. Of course, I play it on the normal or hard difficulty. Not sure what that is, because then you have just the hard one and then the easy one. The easy one you can actually adjust the game. Didn't even try it, so Then of course you can customize your guy. You can be, this dude actually looks pretty cool, and then you can customize him if you like. Yeah, color. Okay, I guess it doesn't work on this guy. Then you have some starter weapons. They're just basically the same, so there's not too much difference here. Then you have a story, which is definitely not cookie cutter, but it's not revolutionary, but it's functional. I actually liked it. I just read through it. The way they make it, for example, those boxes, concerning the art style, they did an excellent job, so I really like how they did this. Well, this is just, I guess, some meta if you like, and then some unlocks. So for example here you got lots of mini bosses and a regular boss, and then you can see them. And then for example the mini bosses can spawn in one of those regular things, and for example you got some big bosses which you need to beat, and then well you can go into the next comic. So for example these are the first ones of the first act, and then of course I'm spoiling here, so please don't watch it if you want to experience it for yourself. And then you have lots of weapons, and then you're thinking, oh great, the variety is really great, and in my opinion it's not so much. So most of them are just projectiles in one direction, just faster or slower, and some with some explosion, and then this is just basically it. And some go through a little bit through some terrain, but not too much. But they are functional, they look interesting, so they are fun to play around. But let's say a few of them are extremely useless. So there was one, which one was it? I really hated this weapon, so I guess this one, what was it? Yeah, this one is a don't pick it up. that one was really bad and lame. So just play around, you will have definitely some fun with this game. I enjoyed it, I played it through, so cannot say I didn't dig it. Let's call it for those upgrades on your grenades and your superpowers, and I must say they were extremely underwhelming. So they just explode, and then I guess they do some explode, some fire damage, some this damage, and then the supers which you can activate, I guess it freezes a little bit. Here you just have fire fast, and then here you have a torrent which fires. It's okay, most of the time I must say I didn't even use it, so maybe I'm just unexperienced or whatever. As you can see, you don't have so many weapons concerning let's melee, but because the focus is definitely on ranged weapons, which is the most fun. And then I guess this is the way you intend this game to play. And then here I show you again the old game, which let's say the older style game which I did yesterday a review. And then of course if you compare those two games, graphically they are miles away, but don't be fooled. For example, a game, let's say, which you're seeing now, which is Destructivator 2, this game is interesting in its other way. So if you just want to have a very easy and quick accessible game without upgrade trees and unlocks and tons of stuff, then you will be happy with this game. But for example, if you want to have the, let's say, the extra shenanigans, the graphical fidelity, the micro stuff, the details, then of course you will be, I guess, if you are a graphical purist, then you will be, of course, be happy with this particular game. So Fury Unleashed. Both games are, in my opinion, valid. For example, the Destructivator 2 is rather a beginner's game. Of course, you can make like 1000 levels because this game doesn't have too much. So this Fury Unleashed has lesser levels because it is, well, how can I say it? It is randomly generated, but they look kind of similar, so there's not too much variety. But still, both games valid, and of course this one 5 years in development by a team, so this is what you can actually do in the end. And as you can see, lots of love putting in here. I must say they did a pretty decent job, and well, I don't know, I just love these games. So if you have those roguelites where you can go through and just upgrade your character and make him better. Of course, I was a little bit disappointed with the upgrade tree, but it is in the end functional. So this is, for example, not something which you see in Risk of Rain, because the upgrades are kind of crazy. So this is power fantasy, and this is just more playing safe here, but still looking beautiful. So that was pretty much it, and hopefully you enjoy the first game and the second game, so Destructivator, and of course this game here, which is Fury Unleashed. And once again, dziękuję za grę, jest naprawdę bardzo fajna. I see you the next time. Have a good one. One Up Indie.